Hello, everyone. I am calling all people, not just playing. I am just over here just sharing my progress. So I know I've been like having confessions videos, just talking about my process of, God, guiding me to do other things this year and stuff that. Um, so I know I had told y'all I had got transportation finally. I've been tested like in every area of my life. Honestly, I have been super frustrated. I have not been able to do any of my videos because I've been going through battle after battle, and I've just been so overwhelmed that I just kind of got so exhausted, so frustrated that I was at work and they were playing with my money and they thought that was cute because they didn't send no email about late deposits or nothing. And so they think that was okay. And I'm like, when you playing with someone's money and y'all been, this is probably like the third time this was inconsistent. And so the thing is, when it's happened 3 times, and no notice, it's frustrating. And I told them, like, I don't feel value as an employee. Like, I feel like y'all don't even care. Like, I've lost so much since I've worked at this job. And I just feel like it's just like overwhelming when nobody don't care. It's like I'm already going through a lot. And now you don't care about us as the people by letting us know what's going on. It shouldn't be a he say, she say, and then, supervisor always trying to cover up for the company, but he's not doing a good job. Because the thing is, I was given false promises and false hopes when I first started there, and everything that they promised me and everything that they guaranteed me was not a guaranteed. It was, all the promises were broken. And so I'm kind of just at a point where it's just like I don't even know anymore. Like I don't even know what my options are. And so at this point, I'm just giving this situation to God because God knows my heart and everything. And so I was just like upset, and I was just so upset because I'm like, God, I'm just going through so much. I've been going through so much for the last few years. Really, this is probably like ever since my surgery, my emergency surgery since last year. Um, it's been hard since that surgery, and it hasn't gotten better. Honestly, I'm just being honest. It just seemed like one thing after another, and I'm just like being attacked in my finances. I'm being attacked in where I live at, landlord being messy and just trying to put the fear in me, and I'm doing everything I can, and it's just exhausting because I'm literally doing everything I can. And it's like, it doesn't matter how hard I try, how hard I pray. It's like everything happens out of my hands. Like it's out of my hands. And I'm just like, I don't even know what to do. And the sad part is, it's like everybody's going through something. All God's people are going through the same thing I'm going through. So it's just like, what is up, Lord? Like, we need some blessings, and your children are waiting on some answers, and got little fuzzies everywhere. Sorry. But anyway, so I'm just like, God, we're waiting on you to come through, Lord. We're waiting on you. We're leaning on your word. We're leaning on your promises. We're praying. We're fasting. We're doing a whole bunch of things, leaning on the promises of God. And, I was having conversations with the Lord, and I was just like, Lord, I'm tired of this. This is not what I live for. The struggle has been too long, and I'm just ready to be at a content place, because it's just getting to where I hate being single. And I'm like, God, I have 3 kids. I have no one else to depend on but God. I don't have a backup plan. Like, all my backup plans that I used to have, God, like, literally threatened, like, no, you can't do this. This is this. So it's like, okay, God, so I have to throw all my little backup plans out the window to surrender, right? And then when you surrender, it's still hard. And it's just like, it was hard before I surrender, but now I surrender and it's still hard. And it's just exhausting, honestly. And I've been having like positive dreams, positive affirmations, positive things in the spirit realm that has not really connected to the physical yet. And it's just like, God, I'm just like burnt out. My body is tired. And, the good thing that happened for me is this week is that my son lost his phone, and God bless him to find it. Because I was like, I just bought it, and then the other good thing that happened was that I went to church, and I was blessed, with things that I needed. And, I just felt peace, and it just was the first time that I didn't have to think about my problems and all the things that I'm going through. And so it just felt like a blessing to not have to think about my life for once in a while. And I would love to say that my life is easy and being a mom is easy. I would love to say that, but I would be lying, okay? And lying is just one of those things that I just cannot do. And so, but God was like, Jesus was bruised for our iniquities, not for his, ours. Did he have it easy? No, he had to go through the same thing we're going through, the struggle. Did he want to go through all that pain? No. And God was just like, all the people that went through a lot, and God was like, I know you're going through a lot, but for one, you surrendered to me. You said yes to my will. You said to increase me in you and decrease you in yourself, right? And so God's like back and forth with this conversation. So I'm just like, okay, God, you're right. And I'm just like, Lord, I need the burdens to be light and the yoke to be easy at this moment, Lord. And, I'd be like, Lord, I just need some help, some contentment, because I just feel really weak, when it comes to trying to be strong, you sing those songs, Count on Me to Thick and Thin, a friendship that will never end. When you are weak, I will be strong. And I'm like, Lord, I'm weak. I don't know where strong is at right now. And I have my days where I just have to just let my day be day, and just cry and just whatever, And so, I've been having good things happen. I've been having battles that have been happening. I've just been going through a lot of warfare with my life, and it's like every time I go through something, a blessing's like right around the corner. And it's just exhausting, because sometimes you just want consistent blessings, and just like the drama of the warfare to come, like, let me get established, But it's just like you have to go through these moments where you just have to battle right now. You have to fight right now before it gets good, because you can't wait till it's good to battle, because God don't want you to do that. He wants you to be strengthened before the battle, because as easy something comes, as easy as it comes, and easy it shall go. And God always says, as much is given, much is required. So the thing is, the more God blesses you and give you, the more you're going to have to give him yourself. So it might be intensified. So maybe it feels hard and rough right now, but it's like right now, God is like, your yoke is easy, because when I start blessing you, it's going to be even more warfare. And so it's just like, okay, God, it's a lot. And so, anyways, but God has been helping me. He's been giving me peace. He has been blessing me left and right. I'm just standing in prayer for a miracle, for something in my life that I really need to take place and happen. Meanwhile, I'm waiting on God's promises that he promised me, and standing on those promises, because I have to stand on something, because these are the times where you got to stand on the truth. You got to stand on the will of God, because if you don't have anything to stand on, then it's like you don't have anything. And so God is truly my provider. He is my everything, because I'm like, I don't have anyone that I can depend on. Like, I don't. I can only have God to fully depend on. Like, he is my everything. And because he is my everything, I have to strictly depend on him. When I'm going through something, I have to go to God and have to ask God, what should I do next? What should I do, Lord? Where should I go? And then I have to wait until he gives me instructions and guide me, or, alert me in my spirit to do other things. But sometimes God would say, hey, go ask this person to help you, and they're going to help you to get to you to your next, destination. And so God would be like, just ask this person, this is going to be fine. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, okay, God, I'm going to do that then, if worst case scenario. But right now I'm just believing in God for favor and some peace. It's just so many things happening that's out of my control, and I don't have no control over it. And so I'm just asking God to help me through these moments in my life, because it has to happen one way or another. But I was also in church today, and in church, I was sitting in church. Sometimes God would talk to me in church, and I was thinking about how many times I've been church hurt, and how I was going to this one particular church, and I was like, what is wrong with that church? Like, why didn't it feel right, And then I heard the Spirit of the Lord said sometimes God would make it uncomfortable for you to be somewhere, because that's not where you're supposed to be at. Because that's not where he wants you to grow at. Sometimes he'll make it uncomfortable where you don't want to go back, because that's not where you're supposed to stay at. That's not where your growth is at. And so God will lead you to the ministry or to the church that you're supposed to go to by, giving you discernment. Because sometimes we're so quickly, or maybe I was upset. I was upset because I just felt like this church wasn't meeting me spiritually, because I just felt like it wasn't there for me. And I went to the church 4 times, and it just felt like it was just not right. Like something was just not right about the church, the atmosphere, the presence. I felt judged by so many spirits, and I just did not feel right there. And I just felt uncomfortable to where I just left in a hurry. Like, it didn't feel good. And the Lord was like, it didn't feel good because that's not where you're supposed to be at. I didn't want you to get comfortable there, because I knew if you got comfortable there, you would stay there. And so I was like, yeah, that's true. So God said, I had to make it uncomfortable for you so you can go where you're meant to go at. I had to make it uncomfortable for you so you wouldn't stay in that situation, so you wouldn't be there. And so sometimes God will use people to, I don't know, not use people. I guess sometimes God will allow his people to offend you. Like, it's like, I know they know God. I know they have, and it's like, yeah, but sometimes God gave them a message, or sometimes God will allow you to see them a certain way when really it may not be that way. And so he just didn't want you to go there, because that's not where your spiritual growth is going to be at. God wants you to go somewhere else. And so sometimes God will make every place that you go to uncomfortable until you get where he wants you to be at, if that makes sense. So you can't stay in the same cycle or stay at the same place for long periods of time, because that's not where you're supposed to be at. It's just like if you work at a job, like at my job, I don't know. I have ups and downs, but it's just like I pray and God tells me to stay there. And he's like, no, this is where you're supposed to be at. This is where you're supposed to be at. And I'm like, okay. God. And then, but when I was at like other jobs where people were picking on me, accusing me of things that I wasn't doing, or trying to make something bigger, or lying on me, God made it so uncomfortable for me. And when I was trying to stay there because I just didn't want to quit, because I just want to be stable, God made it to where I literally got kicked out because God didn't want me there anymore. So sometimes if God has another assignment, or sometimes God wants you somewhere else, he will make it comfortable for you to be there, because he has another plan for you to be somewhere else. And so you have to trust the process, that God's way is better, and his ways are not our ways, and his thoughts are not our thoughts, and his plans, our plans is not his plans. And so we have to trust that God has a plan for our lives. So even though it may not feel good, it really don't. It don't feel good to be going through things that you don't want to go through. It don't feel good to be reshaped, because he's the potter and we're the clay. And so he's shaping us to be something very beautiful, and to turning us into this beautiful vessel. But we can't be this beautiful vessel if we don't go through the fire, if we don't go through the clay, if we don't get shaped and reformed. We were no good if he doesn't reshape us. We just come as we are and just stay there. Who are we really helping? And so I am just at a place in my life where God just needs me to have faith as small as a mustard seed, to don't give up, to trust his promises, and know that Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For he is here to prosper me. For he is not here to harm me, because he has plans for me, a great future." And so that is what I'm leaning on right now. But I just wanted to share that message today. And I just pray this message will bless someone, and you have a blessed day. Bye.